Take me back to a conversation that Jesse had early on when he talked about, he said this to me, that this team looked at soccer as a pursuit of excellence, but maybe didn't understand what the highest levels demanded. Where is this team now in kind of understanding that? And when he told you that, I mean, that sense of what the highest levels demand, like, does this team really understand what it really takes yet, if you guys want to be what you want to be?
I feel like some individuals are put in those environments, like Alistair, Fonzie, Jonathan. They play in Champions League, so they know what it is. But for some other players that didn't have that much of experience to play in those environments where it's really hostile, and it won't always be about like having to play good football. Sometimes you have to have that savviness, you know. And I feel like even on my personal level, I feel like I missed that kind of play into my game. I feel like I need to add this a bit more, and I feel like as a group, if we understand that there's some games where it will not be pretty at all, and I feel like we have to manage and balance the good moments on the ball and also be a bit tricky and, you know, try to create a bit of chaos, because that's what Mexico added to the game, and I feel like it played in their favor for sure.
So what's the lessons then about savviness that you got from last night?
Yeah, that in those hostile environments, you really have to be smart in some areas. And I felt like we maybe missed out a little bit more. And I feel like it was pretty obvious that the PK wasn't called. I felt like even if you were to have a bit of savviness or not, it was a clear PK because everyone saw it. And I think the referee was a bit unfair. I mean, you can have a bad decision, but that's why the VAR is there, for you to go and look at it at least. And he didn't do so, so I feel like it's a bit unfair from him. But yeah, at the end of the day, we learn from those kind of games, and we know that this is not the main goal for us. We obviously want to win a trophy. We're all competitors, but it's all towards the 2026 World Cup. And in terms of playing in Jesse's type of football, I felt like we applied a lot of his principles, but also I feel like there was a bit of uncertainty on how to, you know, finish plays and be able to, finish our attacks in the final third. But it's not just about the offensive players. It comes out for the whole team.
I'm fortunate to watch games as close as I do, and I watch the level of communication. How does accountability have to evolve when you have games like you had last night, when there's a bit of savviness, Mexico scores early, you don't get a call that perhaps you should, and you have to adapt to the game and keep that communication, but also too, after a game like that, when you miss out on an opportunity to go to a final and lift a trophy, what does that accountability look like ahead of a game against the United States, who also might be feeling the way that you're feeling heading into that game?
I feel like in a tournament like this, every game should be taken seriously. It's not because obviously we wouldn't go through the finals that we have to put our heads down and be like it's the end of the world. We still can fight for a third place match, and it's against our biggest rivals. So I think we have to go into that game really confident, and also knowing that we have all the chances to win. And yeah, to answer your questions in terms of accountability, I just feel like as a whole, and if we just understand what Jesse wants us to play, it should be obvious that we'll go into the game really confident and know that we have all our chances.
How are you managing, though, this last year? It's been a lot on you. I mean, you think about, your story's been told a lot, and you and I have talked about it, the effort and the work that you've put in, but it's almost been kicked into overdrive in the last 12 months. Does it feel kind of head-spinning sometimes when you think about where you were not even 12 months ago this time? And as we were just talking about off camera, now playing in one of the top 5 leagues, and then playing in one of Europe's top competitions, and then starting for your national team, and knowing that you're pursuing a goal of getting to the World Cup. But how do you manage all those things, knowing that the expectations and that sense of accountability is only going to keep ratcheting up?
To be honest with you, yeah, it could seem like it's a lot, but I'm a professional now. That's what I wanted to do, and I have to obviously be ready for what's to come. And I think I've dealt with it pretty well, but this is not the end. This is just the beginning for me, and I have to be able to understand that at the position that I'm playing in, I can't be able to, I won't say having a bad game because everyone has bad games, but I feel like I need to be on top of things way more than maybe other players, and I feel like I have the right mindset to do so. And I am also really excited for what's next, and I'm not really thinking about what happened because obviously it already happened and I can't do anything about it. It's just really about what's next and what can I do, how can I prepare for the next day and next game, and yeah, just go in day out, give you 100%.
I understand that you want to be a professional, but you also have to kind of, I'm going to use the expression, you have to know when you have to fill your own cup up, right? Because those demands and the attention on you and this team is only going to grow. Is that something that you think that you and the rest of this team is going to have to learn? Because even the reaction after last night's game was obvious disappointment. Now, you're going to get, and this team is going to get, more and more eyes on it. More Canadians are now following this team. And how do you manage that? How do you manage that many more eyeballs, that much more attention, that many more demands from a public that is only introducing themselves to this team now?
I feel also like in the previous years, Canada hasn't been like a top program or a top side that people were looking at. And that's why maybe the expectations for the program itself would have never been like, oh, we want to win this, we want to win that. But as soon as I think Jesse came in and we've done really well at the Copa America, the standard just went up a notch. And you could definitely feel like every player knows that there's eyes on our team and people are really expecting big things for us. And I feel like we've done pretty well at managing that, but obviously now it just has to be shown on the field, and it didn't come out our way yesterday, obviously. But I feel like the drive, the determination is still there from our side, and I'm really excited for what's next. And this has been a bad day yesterday, but I'm not really worried about what's next for us.
And then to finally round it off then, the reason you're not worried, I imagine, is not only because your belief in your own abilities, but the belief collectively that this team has. Take Jesse out of the equation. These guys hold each other accountable in a different kind of way. So after a game like that then, what does the conversation sound like between the guys? How do guys go ahead and lift each other up while also demanding that notch up of expectation that you talked about?
I mean, one of the first things that Fonzie said before the game is no matter what happens, we have to stay together, because we looked at the stadium and it was already like, I think, 60,000 green shirts. So it was like the only way we could go through this is if we stick together. And I think we did. It's just an unlucky day. Some things didn't go our way. But I felt like if you look at the game, I felt like we showed that we wanted to win this game. We went into battles like it was the last day of our lives, and I felt like, yeah, we could have done better. I felt like if the PK was called, it would have been a way different game. But yeah, we know that we put a performance that's not disappointing. But yeah, we just got to be confident enough and believe in ourselves to come out with a good result on Sunday.